Hi, I'm Libby Gibson, Town Manager. Welcome to What's Going On in Town Government. So, at the Board of Selectmen's meeting this week, we had a county meeting and a Board of Selectmen's meeting. At the county meeting, we did some road takings that have been in the works for quite a while in the Surfside area. Portions of Lover's Lane, Monahans, Orkawa, and Boulevard.
Is that okay for the residents? Are they happy with that?
I believe so. I've
Because
been
they want
asked
their
about it
roads
very
fixed, right?
routinely. They want the roads fixed. The roads are getting fixed. So we have the first road to be fixed is going to be the boulevard, and we're underway with plans. We want to have a little bike path along the side, and unfortunately, I had really hoped that could get in place for this summer, but I think it's going to have to be in the fall, is what I most recently heard. But it's coming.
And it has to be, I mean, especially with the growth that we expect on Old South Road, right?
Well, yeah, because
That
you know
will
it
be
is.
an alternative
It is
route.
well, and it is now.
It
Isn't
is now, right?
Board of Selectmen, it was Real Estate Wednesday. We had some various real estate items. We also had a public hearing for committee applications. Public hearing number 1, public hearing number 2 is next week, and then the board makes appointments at its meeting on June 22nd. We talked about a category of waste that goes to the landfill called mixed excavation waste. And this is a category of waste that the town charges $30 a ton for, and we pay our landfill operator $103-ish per ton to process it. So this is a waste category that has increased in the last 3 to 4 years a lot. So when we were developing our budget for this current fiscal year, a year and a half ago, it wasn't entirely clear at that time that this waste category was increasing so much. So, but we knew we had to keep an eye on it. And earlier in the year, we realized we ought to maybe think about increasing this fee because so much volume is coming in to make it closer to what we pay the landfill operator to process it. So we had a public hearing about that, and there was my mistake in the public notice about what the fee would go to, because it was only to $60 per ton, which is what we had talked about internally. However, the board thought it might be more appropriate to go to the full amount, and we couldn't do that because the public notice only said to 60. You follow?
So, yeah.
So we're going to have another public hearing that won't have an amount in it later in June.
All right. Now, what kind of waste is this? So people
It's called mixed excavation waste, and it's waste that comes out of when you're digging like a foundation hole. So there might be brush in it. There might be a lot of clay in it. There might be mucky stuff in it. So for example, I'm going to give the example that one of the haulers told me about. The White Heron Theater, for example, the stuff that's going to come out of that excavation is going to be different than something comes out of, say, Tom Nevers. There's a lot of clay in certain areas of the island, so it's just stuff that comes out of the foundation.
And what do they have to do to process it?
I don't really know, Gino, but
all right.
There's some amount of screening. They separate like the clean dirt, if there is any, from the clay and the unusable stuff, and they dry it out and use it for cover material and other filling in at the landfill if there's areas to sort of grading and stuff like that out there.
People don't go out there and buy it again.
Oh, no. So they basically reuse it at the landfill rather than maybe buying stuff to do their thing out there. We had an update about the Sconset Rotary flagpole project. This is, I'm going to call this a saga, and it's not over.
Can you explain? I don't even know about it.
Okay, well, go out and look at it if you have a chance. The Sconset Rotary has a concrete kind of like curb-ish thing, and the flagpole itself was embedded in a very large wooden structure. I think wooden. Anyway, the flagpole is quite old and hadn't been replaced for a very long time, maybe even since it was first installed. And so we tried to take on this project ourselves, and it was more than we could handle. It became apparent sort of quickly. So we really need professional help with this now, and that is going to drive the cost up significantly.
Well-
And so there's a temporary pole in place now, which people seem okay with, but it's not a long-term fix. We know that there needs to be a long-term fix. We had a discussion about whether or not the flagpole should be fiberglass or some other material, not wood. And that probably is going to require an HDC review. And so we're mulling that over a bit. We'll go to the HDC and talk to them about it. And we're going to probably seek some Community Preservation Act funds to see if we can help get some funds to restore it. And
It's just a pole?
well, it's not just the pole. It's
Oh,
this
okay.
curbing
I
and it's the
gotcha.
structure that
Got it.
holds the pole. It's a big deal. And anyway, the board also talked about, this is something that is in Sconset, and maybe some Sconset residents or groups could get together and help with the funding of this. So we're hoping that might be forthcoming. We also talked about beach prep for the 2016 season. We had updates from the Marine Department, Natural Resources, and DPW about what they're doing to get ready for the summer. The board also talked about the annual Transportation Improvement Program, which actually goes through the Nantucket Planning and Economic Development Commission. It's an annual review of transportation-related projects that are eligible for federal aid, like sidewalks projects, maybe some road projects, and some amount of funding goes to the NRTA generally for capital items like bus replacements. So we talked about that and a little bit more about strategic planning. At next week's meeting, the board is going to review its summer schedule. We have a second committee application hearing. We are going to look over CPC, Community Preservation Committee or Act projects possible for fiscal 18 that the town might submit for consideration. We are going to have a health insurance update with our health insurance consultant. It's annual renewal time for the town employee health insurance plan and the administration of it. So we're going to do a little bit of review of that. And we're going to also talk about some things that we've been talking about, like we've added a plan, an HMO plan. We just had open enrollment, which means people can switch between the two plans we have now. We're going to get a little bit of an update on that and costs and things like that. We do this every now and then about health insurance because it's a very significant cost in the town budget. And the board likes to keep on top of what it's costing and how much of the budget it is. We're going to get an update about the Brant Point Boathouse renovation project where the shellfish hatchery is. And there's a few other minor items coming up next week. That's it.
That was it?
And Memorial Day weekend, Gino, is
Beautiful.
here, and it is beautiful. Sometimes I feel like it's rainy on Memorial Day weekend, but it looks quite nice. There's something going on across the street over there. Looks like an event set up.
Yeah.
Looks like they got grills set up over there.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder if we'll be invited to that later.
I'm sure you will be.
Yeah, I haven't got my invitation yet, I don't think. Maybe I'll just go over, crash it.
There you go.
Okay, what else?
I think that's it.
Are you hearing anything that I should respond to?
No, at this point, no, but I'll have some stuff next time.
Okay, very good. Thanks very much. See you next time.